Discovery. Previously on Inception. Oh wait, maybe this isn't Inception, but the lost footage from Cloverfield? The song being played in the opening moments of this movie is Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin, a song that is basically about one thing, punctuated by the I'm gonna give you every inch of my love lyric. Since this has f*** all to do with whatever is going on here, I'm gonna chalk this up to the filmmakers bragging about how much money they have for the song budget. Athlete has a lucky quirk or routine that's supposed to give them character, but just ends up being a tired cliche. Casting Glenn Powell is a line of text.
Sweet baby Jesus, we got 10 more hours.
Just let Sonny do his thing.
Extra Southern Ted Lasso here makes a great point. A point that will be ignored because the boss man knows we're in the establishing main character as a badass scene. Earlier, the announcer said,
"The crowds may have gone home, but the racing continues."
So who are all the fireworks for? Holy shit, why is that helicopter flying so fucking low to the ground? How is that not incredibly distracting and dangerous? Wait, zoom in on that shit. Fucking Comcast.
That's how you race, boys. When you get back in that car, you need to do the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, guys, go out there and be Shohei Ohtani today. Can you imagine if we had 9 Shohei Ohtanis on our ball club? We'd be unbeatable. Just do what Shohei Ohtani does in every situation.
Don't wake me if we lose.
Considering a key part of Sonny's character is not caring about the celebrations in any scenario, I'm wondering why he'd care about waking up, whatever the result is.
What do your friend do?
Drove cars.
What's your fast?
Was it slow?
Skip.
Come here, you son of a bitch.
Scene does not contain a predator handshake to offset the bros got a son of a bitch each other cliche.
350 million.
Who the f*** is this? Is Pinball Coach?
No race wins in the first 3 seasons. The board can force a sale.
Man, it sounds like you need a new board.
No, it sounds like he needs to be in a movie that hasn't been purposely built to f*** him in his loopholes as hard as possible. Also, expecting a brand new F1 team to win even one race within its first 3 years is as unreasonable as it is unnecessary. You're better off placing consistently in the top 10 rather than throwing it all at one win that isn't repeatable. Now, maybe the board is determined to live out its best Field of Dreams life, but Ruben should know better and should never have agreed to these terms. Also, how the f*** did Ruben know Sonny was going to be in this middle of nowhere laundromat? Meeting him at Daytona, I could understand, but I doubt chronically on the road Sonny is frequenting the same laundromat. And all we needed to negate this sin is a clip of Ruben Googling laundromats with Formula One themed pinball machines. Anyway, if this meeting was somehow arranged beforehand, why wouldn't they just meet at the place they end up eating?
Well, you don't just walk off the street and pilot a rocket.
Yes, you can if you've done it before.
Not if that rocket is an entire generation of rockets removed from the rocket you've rocketed before, and all the other rocketeers have been rocketeering longer than you. Also, Sonny will be persistently excellent at CinemaSins in this scene. It's as if the movie thought having its protagonist point out its donkey ball's premise would permit me to shut up and enjoy the ride instead of nitpicking it. Movie underestimates my ability to do both.
Louis Chiron was 57 years old when he won the Monaco Grand Prix.
Who was who?
Philippe Tancelang, 56 years old.
Google these names, didn't you?
I doubt it. If he had, Ruben would have discovered that Louis Chiron was actually 55 when he entered the Monaco Grand Prix and finished 6th. In fact, Chiron never won a single F1 race, and I'm frankly shocked that not a single F1 person associated with this movie brought this up.
This is a first-class ticket to London.
Not only is that a first-class ticket to London, it's a f***ing boarding pass too, meaning Ruben must have already got hold of Sonny's passport and knew he'd need less than 48 hours notice to get his affairs in order.
Close friend of yours made you an offer too good to be true. What do?
Well, how much are we talking?
Not about the money.
So what is it about?
I knew that Sonny has a fraught history with Formula One racing, and that's why he resisted Ruben during the whole conversation, but I kind of wish he had come to this conclusion 5 minutes ago. That was a lot of hemming and hawing for a troubled past that doesn't exactly factor into our enjoyment of this movie. You might expect me to say that this Formula One-ing goes on for all the montages sometime, but it actually gives me a chance to appreciate that these are real people in real cars on an actual F1 track, and that is a commitment to authenticity that beats the shit out of green screens and CGI every time. Also, this Formula One-ing goes on for all the montages sometime.
Locked it up, flat spot front left.
Bring him in.
Okay, he had a bad final sector, but Joshua got 2 purple sectors, a feat that some F1 nerd tells me means he is the fastest driver to have posted times in those sectors so far. That is not the actions of a shitbox car. The British.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, it feels good. I start to push. Then it understeers in the slow corners and oversteers the fast.
That is a really long way to say you have erectile dysfunction.
You need to show these people who the #1 driver really is, man, or you're going to lose your job.
Yes, because I'm sure any skill gap Joshua might have and any performance issues with the car can be easily bridged as long as he really wants it, like, super really bad.
Your man thought I was maintenance, sent me to the back gate.
But also, we needed a cheeky explanation for that silly hero shot we just did.
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
This is a great line, but god damn it, I can't help but be upset. It's like The Simpsons when Sideshow Bob is asked about something a probably made-up person named Les Whinen said, and Sideshow Bob replies, I'd say that Les Whinen ought to do more thinking and less whining. In other words, the setup is just too fucking good for this killer retort, and it's like the universe demon-possessed Joshua to put the wheels in motion for it.
Give me the same setup as him. If I can't post a lap time within a second of JP's, then I will promptly see myself out.
These F1 cars essentially fit their driver like a glove. They're custom-made body shoes built and set up to the individual's needs and driving style. There's a good chance Sonny wouldn't even fit into this car, let alone be confident enough to drive it.
Default mode, settings 1 to 2, back to 3.
I hope the movies on the flight over here were fucking fantastic because it seems that Sonny hasn't done a second of research. Apex has one test day and they're expecting him to learn how to use the car from scratch and perform on a brand new track. If he gets within a minute of Joshua, it won't be because he's fast, it'll be because Joshua jogged the fucking track.
20 quid says he stacks it.
The British.
Make it 100 and you're on.
Cute, but this is an error verging on incompetence. There isn't just a generic radio button for you to accidentally lean on. Discount Ron Weasley here had to accidentally lean on Sonny's specific radio button. Well, now that I've seen one screw up, I will totally accept that he's got that out of his system and will be able to compete with Josh's time. Thank goodness, because I was ready to call this all bullshit. In a real race, 0.193 seconds is a lifetime. However, in this situation, 0.193 seconds should have Joshua shitting bricks, because that is far closer than anyone who just came off the streets 30 years removed from the sport should be.
What was his lap time?
He passed his entirely self-imposed test by 0.05 of a second.
Sonny somehow ended up being so far ahead of Josh's time that pirouetting down the home straight, which I'm told is slower than regular driving, didn't completely screw his final time.
We need more engagement, Josh, more followers.
I feel like the worst thing that has come from the engagement and followers age is the fact that so many movies now have plot drivers that involve engagement and followers, and some movies are even made because of engagement and followers.
There are the teams.
Yeah, there's 20 seats, but they're all filled.
The fact that the seats are filled isn't the problem, Joshua. The problem is that none of those 20 seats are filled by a driver you can beat.
Then remember what your father used to say. Put your head down and drive.
Oh my god, that is horrible advice. I'm glad this 2.5-hour movie dedicated time to Sonny getting stuck behind some cows.
And in a bizarre twist, it's American Sonny Hayes, who hasn't raced in Formula One for over 3 decades.
News position about a thing we've just spent the last 27 minutes being told.
None of this will dampen speculation that majority shareholder Cervantes Capital are looking to sell the team.
Why do I think this is a Don Quixote reference that I'm too lazy to confirm? Sonny's direction for this promotional picture appears to have been act like your mid-bowel movement and failing to hide it.
And during that decade...
During
that decade, you gave up racing and gambled professionally before declaring yourself personally bankrupt. You had a marriage annulled and 2 more ended in divorce.
That was some absolutely ridiculous reporting, almost as if it were more for exposition than for an article. Also, everything this asshole reporter brings up during this press conference makes Sonny sound way cooler than the character Brad Pitt is playing. Time to tick off intensive exercise and studying montage from my sportsing movie bingo card. All I've got left is Dead Mentor and... Okay, who's Apollo Creed in this movie?
Today, we kick off the final 9 races of this thrilling championship season.
If they're in Great Britain, then aren't there normally about 12 more races after this one? I mean, that's what I saw on the 2025 schedule, and the one in 2024, and the one in 2023. Anyway, I'm sure it's some sort of creative license thing. We can't play the song, but there should be some kind of Hollywood tax paid to Queen specifically that is directly proportional to how much We Will Rock You is used to make a scene cooler. Given the monarchic connection, we could maybe call it a royalism or something.
What are you doing here, Sonny?
I mean, it's just another race. I'm telling you, this is no different from NASCAR. And I, for one, say we should allow stock cars on the track with the McLarens and the Ferraris of the world. Oh, and also...
Mr. Nolan, it's for you. It's God. He says we should have girls at Wilton.
One tour of the track and a chance for the drivers to warm up their tires and brakes.
Commentary that doubles as exposition about the rules of Formula One for all us freedom-loving hillbillies in the audience who are more used to cars driving in circles really, really fast.
He'll turn up at the back of the grid with warm tires, ready to go.
Cheeky It's on purpose.
F1's been around for 75 years, so why has this genius tactic not become the norm for 22nd place? Well, probably because it's a terrible fucking plan. Yes, warm tires help you get off the starting line, but you don't want to go as hard as Sonny is and prematurely wear them down. And this won't be the last time the movie attempts to grab glory by having Sonny single-handedly revolutionize Formula One with some cowboy nonsense that shouldn't work.
Verstappen leads, but Joshua Pierce is struggling out there at the moment.
What a weird f***ing thing to say. There's no link whatsoever between Verstappen and Joshua in this race. They are at opposite ends of the pack and essentially driving different races, so why is he focused on Joshua as if he's the main character? The wave, but even more sinnily intercutting footage of the race with the wave.
We're bouncing around the place like we're on the bloody tube, and now we think it's cool to leave wheel guns in the pit box!
God blimey, bloody hell, we'll have you here. Look, geez, if we don't biff boff the tush-tush, we're behaving all right, Nana.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
To be fair, he's the one who should apologize. Unless, wait, is this where F1 drivers usually take their ice baths?
The board is up my ass, and I have to decide whether to continue this fiasco or pull the plug now.
The movie's main conflict is that a rich guy we don't really know might lose his racing team, and the main character has nothing to lose in the process. This movie is very happy you love Javier Bardem and Brad Pitt so much, because their characters are not going to sell this on their own. It's close, but I might hate this alien design more than the one in Prometheus.
I'm sorry, is there something that you wanted to discuss?
Kate, you read my mind.
This discussion will require going to an entirely different location that apparently you need to take the jungle cruise to get to.
You want me to redesign so you can follow closer?
We need to build our car for combat.
Somebody thought I wouldn't notice this blatant attempt to Top Gun their F-14s into my F-1s. Also, the biggest crime this movie commits might be undermining Carrie Condon's character by making Sonny's idea to redesign the entire car work better than anything she could come up with on her own.
The only question here is, why did Sonny Hayes come back to F1? Now, that question is extremely f***ing urgent.
And also, your Irish accent was f***ing terrible on the double zone. Exercise. Also, for those of you who are not enjoying all that racing and pesky dialogue, here's another montage set to some hip music. Should be much easier to digest, and don't worry, it has very little nutritional or narrative value.
He really needs help. There is nobody coming to him at the moment.
My God, I hope someone 32 years from now can learn from this. Jesus Christ, this is a teachable moment.
What's wrong with the car?
The guy sitting in it.
We do what everybody does, we lose.
Assuming that God will reward you with a W out of respect for doing something different, just because it's different. Also, here's the problem with Sonny's refusal to drive until he gets the right tires. Any advantage he might gain from switching to soft tires is going to be decimated by him sitting still and wasting time in the pit lane. He should gain very little from being a stubborn asshole, but fortunately he has the movie on his side.
Give him his tires.
There's a whole process behind switching tires, and if you were committed to giving him hard tires, that means the soft tires shouldn't even be ready or out of their cozy little tire jackets.
That's his front wing again! Oh, that's going to bring out another safety car.
When I saw the trailers for F1, I was hoping to see, like, racing. This movie is an IMAX version of all the rules you can exploit in an F1 race when you have a shitty car.
With yellow flags out, all the cars are forced to hold track position, meaning that thanks to Sonny Hayes, the race ends under a safety car.
Oh my God, that's so thrilling. Also, that means all the drama about Pierce's pit stop was pointless. There's no overtaking while the safety car is out, which means that Pierce risked his 10th position to get new tires that he doesn't even need to use. Oh, look, famous movie producer Lewis Hamilton finished in 4th place. After this strong showing, maybe he should consider a change in career.
And Joshua Pierce in 10th, scoring expensive Apex GP, their first ever point.
I truly do not know why they're celebrating. They scored at one point by outright cheating and stacking the deck, and it cost 400,000 pounds worth of car parts to do it. That's like $1 trillion, and hardly repeatable.
Deal's a deal. I finished.
Yeah, in last place.
Sounds great when you say it.
They're such a cute pair, aren't they? The world has been waiting for Brad Pitt and Carrie Condon to get together in a movie for so long, and it's finally here.
I have to admit, you guys got this one right. I'm like, thank you.
It's weird they let real-life Alonso interrupt Brad Pitt in this scene and just kept it in. I mean, why would movie Alonso be congratulating Sonny? He finished last and just about every driver in the field.
How long's he been in there?
All day. Playing with different tire pressures, ride heights.
He also has been scouring the rule book, and he found this weird trick where you can finish first by not racing one lap at all. I'm telling you, this guy is a fucking demon behind the wheel.
You've faced Hayes before. You know the grey areas in which he works.
First of all, he's a lot grayer now.
Good God, man. Does everyone have a quip ready to go in this movie?
What does Ferrari think of Apex?
We don't.
Oh no, how dare you besmirch the good name of Apex, whom I've grown to love, I guess.
Sonny, they're on backs.
Rooting for last place finishers.
Sonny Hayes hesitated before he left his pit box, and he's come out just in front of Max Verstappen.
I don't think I can let it go that this movie was advertised as F1 racing on an IMAX screen, and more than half of it is hired gunslinger shoots half the town, but as long as he kills the bad guy, we win.
Sonny, Joshua is staying out on slicks.
Staying out on slick tires in the pouring rain is a death sentence for your race, and possibly a literal one for you, the driver. Yeah, I watched Drive to Survive too, f***ers.
Pierce is right on the gearbox of Verstappen down the back straight at over 200 miles an hour.
Whoa, wait a minute. What is this miles an hour bullshit? The real world story behind how they pulled off this stunt is more impressive than anything the crash actually contributes to the movie. The movie is smart to show me how Sonny feels about all this and not, like, Joshua's mom.
It was clear that you were running his race. Look, you kept him out on slick tires in dangerous conditions.
If the press knows that, that means they were listening to the team radio, which, yes, is a thing. But that means they should have been able to hear that it was Joshua's choice to stay out on the soft tire option, and that Sonny was adamant for him to take his time and not overtake on that corner.
If everyone in this room can make one critical contribution, that's a second every lap. And after 72 laps, that's the difference between last and first.
This sounds profound, but is lacking any kind of practical next steps. What if every team also decides to do that, Sonny? What if, and stay with me here, what if the other teams also want to win?
Plant seeds for combat.
Combat.
This scene definitely feels great after Joshua almost died.
Round the back, King Hayes has gone past Ocon. This is brilliant last lap drama. What a fantastic finish.
I don't know why I'm so excited about a 9th place finish, but goddammit, I'm apex pilled. I know sports movies are rife with montages, but this one does seem to montage more than most. Wondering if we could actually just put all the montages together and be able to know the entire story in the time it takes to listen to an upbeat bop from The Weeknd instead of this sometimes thrilling, sometimes tedious 2.5-hour epic.
Sonny Hayes gets the inside line, but he can't quite get past. George Russell will hang on here for 6th place.
Huh. Now that Apex team seems to be doing well without cheating, the movie is now not so concerned about showing us actual races.
Every race you miss, fans just forget you. And Sonny always seems to be one step ahead. You never know. Sonny may be a saboteur, Josh.
It kind of sucks this movie makes a choice to have Joshua crash and start rehab just when Apex starts having success. An increased animosity could have arisen between Sonny and Joshua after the car was modified, giving the combat-minded Sonny an edge, beating Joshua and stealing the limelight. I think the filmmakers worried how this team would work once the car got modified, because Sonny wouldn't really need to do all that underhanded shit anymore. And what's the fun of watching someone succeed legitimately for a change? Besides, this movie might have committed the cardinal sin of allowing this team to win before the final race, and that would be just nutty.
Give the design team a bonus because the upgrade has completely changed this car.
An upgrade that they never would have come up with if Sonny hadn't made that fancy combat metaphor to inspire them. Again, it is an offense to engineers everywhere that so much of this team's success is based on platitudes from a new driver. Brad Pitt is Forrest Gump 2.
What is happening with this team?
I don't know what's happening with this team, but I do know that Joshua is still in the race, and we never hear about how he did with the new car.
Brilliant, you made it. Come on, sit down.
This movie probably entered it a long time ago, but it has officially entered full-on Days of Thunder mode with this scene.
Says the guy who still lives with his mom.
Says the guy with 2 pets.
Says the guy with trips.
Says the guy with a full house.
Says the guy who wants to know why you all showed your hands before establishing that the betting was done. Yeah, we saw them throwing in chips, but we have no clue if they were raising or calling. They just decided to use their poker hands as punctuation, and that kind of violence will not abide. Also, people who say they have 2 pair when one of the pairs is on the board, they aren't necessarily wrong, but they are assholes.
How old were you when your fathers died?
13.
And I bet fucking Bucky killed the both of them.
Drive the car. You're really good at it.
Well, I wish the movie would fucking show us some of this greatness. So far, all we know is that he does a halfway decent job of turning his car into a single-seat plane.
Let's get this straight, okay?
Okay.
I don't mess around during the season.
Whoa, where is this coming
I'm
from?
never with a member of my team.
Holy shit.
And what I'm attracted to is winning. And you just lost to a pair of 5s.
I didn't realize that sex was on the menu while I was playing this stupid game of poker. Where the f*** did this scene come from? Turning your cards over this way. Also, hero character secretly let the other character win cliché. Also, this is yet another instance where Joshua is allowed to win because Sonny helps him. Like the whole movie makes Joshua a winner because of Sonny. Can you throw Joshua a bone here? Can he succeed without Sonny even though he's not Brad Pitt? 3-bet also. I'm sorry to get into the weeds here because this isn't a poker movie, but what if Joshua was bluffing with 7-5 here? With this board, there's almost nothing Sonny could have called Joshua's all-in bet with that didn't beat him. This would have been an impossible gambit if Joshua flipped that particular hand over, because naturally Kate would have said, "You can't beat 7 high?" And then everyone would have looked at the board and said, "Holy shit, There's almost 0 hands you could have, Sonny, that don't win here. What the fuck are you trying to pull? This trauma dream gets more confusing the more we see it. Are we saying that he's dreaming about watching a recording of the crash? Or are we saying he's a Terminator?
Why are you here, Sonny? Huh?
Not much of a story.
Oh, weird. I was just thinking the same thing.
I was gonna be world champion. Best there ever was. And then it was all taken away.
Let me guess. Barbara Hershey shot you in a hotel?
Will you be the best there ever was in the game?
Ah, shit, man, that's rough. You're not the first. It happens to everybody.
You cannot race unless you substitute the previously approved component.
Without the upgrade, we're screwed.
And right before the 3rd act as well. What are the chances? This movie is really honestly going to make Sonny lose his cool because he didn't put a playing card in his pocket. Honestly, it's probably for the better because this movie doesn't have any more tricks he can pull and there's no fucking way they're going to be competitive without their upgrade. So I guess this is as good a reason as any to move on to the next scene quickly.
She's driving angry.
I had no idea Sonny even had a daughter, let alone one killed by a cult leader that he now needs to exact vengeance upon. Wonder what Amber Heard is up to these days.
Further blunt force impact trauma likely to result in vision loss, paralysis, death.
Really lead with the good news, don't they?
This is a report from 30 years ago.
Whoa, how the f did you get that? HIPAA, man, what the f?
You never should have raced again, Sonny.
You think you can do these things, Nemo, but you can't with a compromised skeletal system. I recognize this parking garage, and the sin, as always, is the Rio. Also, this guy called a meeting on the rooftop of the Rio parking garage. I guess so that it could be properly shady enough for the business deal he's proposing to stab Ruben in the back.
The board originally approved your hire because we thought you'd help us lose.
Holy shit, this movie really is a fucking natural. Also, I thought he was the 8th guy Ruben approached after the other guys turned him down. Maybe the board would have rejected anyone suitable, but this rings hollow when the car itself was the biggest problem and everyone knew it had no chance without the modification. So if they really wanted to rig this thing in their favor, they sure as f didn't need someone like Sonny to be the guy who ensured the downfall.
I'm a winner. Aren't you?
Well, technically he's not in Formula 1, but he's still got to have sex with Kate. Not because of Formula 1, but because of a shitty hand of poker that he purposely lost. And now this guy seems to think Sonny is a winner too. And I now no longer know what winning means. Oh shit, I just realized this guy parked 1 level below and walked up to the roof. What the f?
Nah, mate, you got media next.
They could find me. Besides, that's not why I'm doing it, right?
Josh, starting tomorrow, we're not doing it anyway.
Then what the f do you care if he talks to media or not if you're so certain he won't be able to race anymore after this? When everyone starts wearing mismatched socks, it's time for a discussion about whether or not you're in a cult. Also, this movie wants you to know that there is just one style of leadership, and that style is jogging around the track. And now we all have permission to respect Joshua because he's leading exactly the same way Sonny did, and that's what counts.
No way.
Hans Zimmer is telling me I should be excited here, but I have no idea why. Sonny got some document that says Ruben isn't liable if anything happens on the track. That wasn't Ruben's main concern. I think he was more worried about the death of his friend than being sued. Oh my God, it's Liam Hemsworth from Independence Day Resurgence and some other guy. Cool.
Because we're hearing the Apex GP team has made a late-stage driver switch with...
That's your guy, isn't it?
Yes, there are allowances for drivers to be able to participate in the race, even if they've missed qualifying, but I am 107% certain it is utter bullshit that Sonny has been allowed to slide into this race.
What the hell? What?
Movie expects me to believe that Sonny would bother scouring the luxury box for this asshole just so the movie can have this flip-off emoji moment. And why is Sonny not using his real finger for this, since they're apparently in perfect view of each other?
All set for our season finale here in Abu Dhabi.
Just a quick note that Sonny is starting at the back of the pack again, and yet we never see him try and pull that parade lap slowdown maneuver he pulled in his first race.
Hayes in P16, Pierce his teammate up to P9.
The announcers are excitedly reporting on Hayes and Pierce being in 16th and 9th, as if that matters to anyone other than the moviegoers. I mean, they're not even in the running for any kind of championship points, but the commentary is focusing on them as if it's the most important story of the season.
It's another overtake. He's lost the lead and drops now to P3.
Sorry guys, my rear tires are shot.
Joshua's just lost 2 places, which means he's losing time, which means he actually should have pitted at least a lap earlier.
P3 Ferrari, Pippa, can he beat it to 1? He needs to pick up half a second.
Half a second? In one sector? That'd be a big ask if he had a full lap to do it, but we're talking about a couple of corners.
For the second time in this race,
let's go!
Why the f is everyone so excited about this when he is barely ahead and everyone knows that his tires are about to wear out?
Into the barrier. That's a big one.
The because we're in a movie, the villain, of course, can't contain a celebration that any normal human with a secret to hide would be able to suppress.
The stewards have no choice but to red flag this race.
Ah, the joy of racing, where a red flag can bring opportunities for a victory when there was zero chance of one before it happened.
Dodge! Dodge, we gonna make it?
I don't know.
Seems out of character for Sonny to waste Dodge's time asking this question.
That was clean. That wasn't me, not this time.
That makes it worse. For the movie anyway. Now instead of this being attributable to Hayes' established character, it's just blind fucking luck that the team has a chance at winning.
The marshals just sweeping the last few bits of debris off the track.
Look, I can make fun of nearly every segment of the world population and how they choose to say words, but I want to know how you British turned the word debris into debris. It's like you had a meeting or something and said, whoa, that's way too French. Let's Oliver Cromwell this up a notch. This tense eye contact only makes sense if you know that this is Lewis Hamilton, the real-life driver who is currently in first place and is the person Joshua has to beat. Something the movie should have done a better job at explaining, just on the off chance we freedom-loving hillbillies aren't keeping up with famous British racing drivers.
But wait, we're the only cars on fresh tires because we sucked in qualifying yesterday.
Never got the chance to use them. Sometimes when you lose, you win.
Another thing that makes racing so great. Advantages not afforded to the other teams just because of some sort of technicality during qualifying. Woohoo!
Tell JP to follow my lead.
Don't tell him why or anything. Just ask him to trust someone he's had trouble trusting for nearly the entire movie in the biggest race of our lives.
What's happening?
He's flying.
What do you mean, what's happening? Are you seeing something about the way he's driving that makes you think, hey, there's something weird here that I need to point out that will act as a setup for the dramatic answer? The weird thing is that the team gets their own constructor's trophy. So while this is a nice moment, it's completely missing the fact that Ruben now has to lug around 2 trophies.
Gosh, if you were ever to consider to drive somewhere else, you know where to find me.
That's Toto f***ing Wolff. And let me tell you why that's weird. All I could think about while watching Ruben was Toto Wolff, me and every other F1 junkie. So it's jarring as all get out for him to spontaneously show up in the last few seconds, considering I felt like I'd been watching him the whole movie. It'd be like Ian McKellen showing up at the end of Return of the King to congratulate Frodo on his return from Mordor. Confirmed! The wedding ring was never the totem, it was the card all along.
Have you ever driven Baja?
Sadly, the Baja 1000 movie probably would have been way more fun than this one.
If I get my car back any different than I gave it, Monster Joe's gonna be disposing of 2 bodies.
Hello, James. Welcome. Do you like the island? My grandmother had an island. Nothing to boast of. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch! I'm in! Remember what your father used to say?
I will paint your balls the colour of hazelnuts and inform a bag of squirrels that winter's coming.
We're bouncing around the place like we're on the bloody tube, and now we think it's cool to leave wheel guns in the pit box.
I didn't understand a one word you said.
You don't like the way I'm driving? Beat me, Swan.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
We're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking. Oh, no one gets past us without a fight, right?
Condescend me, man. Kill you, man.
You know what date is on this coin? 1958. It's been traveling 22 years to get here. And now it's here. And it's either heads or tails.
Hey, Zeus. It's like a morgue around here.
Why you keep calling me Jesus? I look Puerto Rican to you.
What's happening?
He's beginning to believe.